What is up, everybody? Today I'm here with Mr. Torrey. Mr. Torrey, the new author of a book called Sharpen the Axe. How you doing today, Mr. Torrey?
I'm good. Thanks, Michael. I appreciate you coming.
No problem. I wanted to talk about what made you want to write this book.
It's a lifelong goal. For a long time, I've wanted to write a book. I read a ton. I think last year I read 75 books. So I'm not like on Bill Gates' level yet, where he reads 100 books. That's 2 a week for those of you that can't do simple math. But I read a ton. And last year I was a part of a project called Pound the Stone, which we ended up taking and using a lot of. So kudos to Coach Van Cly for making Pound the Stone our theme for football this year with our rubber bracelets. I see you have yours on today.
Yep.
I was a part of that project. The author, Joshua Medcalf, reached out, wanted a group of people to help him get his book out, publish it, edit it, all those things. And so I was fortunate enough to be part of that. And it was after that experience where I was like, I can do this. I can write my own book. I'll take the same steps that Joshua Medcalf showed me, and I'll just do it and I'll make it my own. And so it's really been a lifelong goal, and then that was the moment where it kind of crystallized and said, I can do this.
Yeah. Well, knowing that you're a coach for multiple sports, do you think that had anything to do with writing this book?
Yeah, very much so. My experience as a coach, especially here in Denison, is the training grounds for this book. Each chapter in it is dedicated to another coach or another leader who has influenced me in some way and shared some advice. And without their input or without going through the struggle with them, I never would have enough material to sit down and write about on my own.
Well, let's kind of get into the book. The first chapter is called You Might As Well Quit. Can you explain that a little bit?
We live in a time where sports specialization and where people don't want to do work anymore. They don't want to go out for sports. When I was in school, and this is a common thread that we talk about as coaches, is we were 4-sport athletes, 3 and 4-sport athletes. And we did other things like band or choir or debate or speech or theater. So we live in a time where it's harder and harder to get kids to go out for sports. That's why I appreciate you athletes that do go from season to season. And we as coaches know we need to model that too. I'm not just a football coach because I go right into wrestling after that. I've done spring sports before. I used to coach golf. And we also live in a time where coaches tell kids to quit. It's the wrong message. I'm better because, and all the research will support that. Angela Duckworth in her book Grit writes about how people need to experience a variety of things. Then you can pick what you truly are good at or what you're interested in and what you can make into a career possibly. So I think that message needs to stop in the coaching world. We need to encourage kids, not tell them to quit, not say you're no good to me on the field or you're not good for me right now, so I'm not going to invest in you. We need to go the other way, and we need to get kids to stay with it and build skills.
Yeah, that's definitely right. Now, my favorite chapter, chapter 14, Pack Your Own Parachute. I've heard you use that phrase a lot. Can you kind of explain?
A 6th grade teacher that I used to work with who is now retired, and I have a ton of respect for her. Her name's Sherry Warner, and she taught in Missouri Valley for a long time. She still lives there. I still talk to Mrs. Warner to this day. But that was her phrase. That's what she used in her classroom. And I love it. As a coach, as kind of a military-minded person, I don't have any experience in the military, but my best friend is a Special Forces. And as a social studies teacher, I have a ton of respect for military personnel. That really hit home with me because my friend who's Special Forces, he's a paratrooper, and he talks about that all the time, packing your own parachute. If we were going to jump out of a plane, are you prepared? That's what it comes down to. Are you prepared? If we go to a game, are you prepared? If we go to practice, are you prepared? And as an athlete, you need to pack your own parachute. As a coach, I've got so many other things on my plate, and other coaches would say the same thing. You need to take care of the things that you're responsible for. And so that was definitely a theme I wanted to bring out in my book.
Well, that's great. I think it's just fantastic.